The sun comes up around 9. By 3 in the afternoon, it is gone again. Outside, the world is white and silent and trying to kill you. Inside, there is your whole family, a fire that cannot go out, and the smell of cattle. This is your home for the next 5 months, and you are a Viking. When you picture a Viking, you probably see a raid, a dragon ship, an axe, a burning monastery on a cold coast. But that was the summer job, a few violent weeks for a few of them in the warm half of the year. For most Norse people, most of the time, the truth is much quieter. They were farmers, and a farmer's hardest season is the one where nothing grows. The Norse split the year into 2 halves, not 4 seasons, 2, summer and winter. Winter began in October with a feast called the Winter Nights. It was a deadline as much as a celebration. Whatever you had not gathered, killed, or stored by now, you would not have. So in autumn, the farm runs red. You cannot feed every animal through the dark months, so most of them are killed in a single, brutal stretch of work. The meat is salted, smoked, dried, and packed away. The blood becomes sausage. Nothing is wasted because waste in winter means death. The building you survive in is called a longhouse. One long room, sometimes the length of a cricket pitch, with curved walls like an upturned boat. Down the center runs a hearth, a line of fire that is never allowed to die. There is no chimney. Smoke pools under the roof and leaks out through a hole, and everything you own slowly turns the color of soot. At one end live the people. At the other, behind a low partition, live the animals. The cattle are not just neighbors. Their bodies are central heating. The warmth of a cow is worth keeping close when the alternative is freezing. Now, what do you actually do hour after dark hour? If you are a woman, you make thread. Endless thread. Spinning and weaving were not a hobby. They were heavy industry, and the women ran it. Every sail on every famous longship was wool, spun, woven, and greased by hand. A single large sail could take more wool and more working hours than building the entire ship itself. Winter was when that work got done. By firelight, on a tall, upright loom weighted with stones, clack after clack, for months. If you are a man, winter is for everything the summer broke. You mend tools. You carve new handles, shape spoons and bowls, twist rope, and repair the nets. You work iron at a small forge, and you fix the boat that will carry you out again when the ice lets go. Children are set to the small jobs, minding the fire, the animals, the babies, and learning, by watching, how to stay alive. What you eat now, you decided months ago. Dried fish hard as wood, salted meat, sour milk thickened into skyr, grain boiled into porridge, and bread baked flat and heavy. And ale, a lot of ale. Brewing turned stored grain into something warm, social, and just safe enough to drink all winter. And then there are the nights, which is most of it. When it is dark by mid-afternoon, you do not waste the firelight staring at a wall. You tell stories. The hearth becomes a stage. Someone recites the deeds of the dead, the gods, the voyages, long poems held entirely in memory, passed mouth to mouth. Almost everything we know of Norse myth survived because people talked through winters like this for generations. When you tire of listening, you play. There is a board game called Nefatafel, a king and his men surrounded, trying to break out. There are dice carved from bone, riddles, and the kind of arguments that fill a small room kept too long indoors. And at the deepest, darkest point of the year, you stop. And you feast. This is Yule. For days, you eat the best of what you saved. You drink hard, you honor the gods, and you dare the long night to do its worst. Light and noise and company, deliberately at the moment the darkness is heaviest. We still do it. We just change the name. Not all of winter is spent indoors. When the weather breaks, you go out, onto skis, which the Norse used long before they were a sport, and onto frozen lakes on skates carved from animal bone. You hunt, you haul wood, you fish through holes in the ice. The word ski itself is a gift from these people to the rest of us. But underneath all of it sits one cold arithmetic. Everything in that house, the meat, the grain, the fuel, the ale, is a fixed amount, and it has to last until the ground softens. Get the sums wrong, lose a harvest, see the spring come late, and the longhouse becomes a slow trap. Winter did not just have to be endured. It had to be survived. And not everyone did. So picture the Viking again. Not on a beach with an axe, but here, in the smoke and the dark, mending a net, spinning thread for a sail he may never sail, telling his children a story he learned from his father. The raids we remember with a loud, short, terrible exception. The long, patient, shared work of not dying through the dark. That was the life. And when spring finally came and the ships went out, It was this, the surviving, that they were sailing away from and back to.